Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. Finally, some good news for the Philippines, or in the Philippines. And yeah, y'all heard it right. We had another typhoon come through San Carlos City. They called it a tropical depression, but I'm just a country bumpkin from Kentucky. I don't know the difference between a tropical depression and a typhoon. The winds were just as strong, the rain, the flooding, structures were knocked down over here, the power was out, no Wi-Fi. But the good news is it's gone. It passed through here and it goes wherever it goes. Also, I got some good news on the CRBA situation with Booby. The DNA kits arrived in Manila today. I'm trying to get ahead of the game because I know the embassy. They think everybody over here, all the expats and Americans, live in Manila. So they'll get those DNA kits and they'll schedule an appointment today or tomorrow. Fortunately for us, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So I'm sure the embassy is probably going to be closed Thursday and Friday. So we'll get to Manila early before they schedule us the appointment. So we'll be there for 5 to 7 days. That's good news, man, because it's a lot riding on your shoulders when you have children over here. You certainly want to get them that U.S. citizenship. I can sleep better at night, knowing that no matter what happens to me, Booby will have that option. Okay. But I did want to address something. A couple of things I wanted to address. A guy makes a reaction video on an old video I did a long time ago about, men coming over here for sex and for women. Let me stop here and say, guys, it's just my perspective. It's just one person's perspective. Can we allow us to have a perspective? I was watching a TED Talks one time. A guy gave a great message. He was talking about an existential crisis. He was talking about, the only problem, one of the greatest problems with human beings is everyone has a perspective. So there's always going to be arguing, debating, and different things like that. But when it comes to something like that, I just talk about what I'm seeing, living, and experiencing. Doesn't mean it's right. And he goes on and tries to make a case that, the men who truly do come over here, who truly care about the women that they're chatting with and come over here to meet them. And what do you do after that? Eat balut? Is that all you do? Sit around the condominium playing cards and stuff? Why are you even on the website to begin with? You got the memo that, that women over here, more than likely, will give you a chance. And you know what that's going to lead to. Because the last time I checked, I just don't see many Filipinos going through the visa process voluntarily on their own so that they could get to America just to meet foreign men. Okay, but again, it's just my perspective. But that's a duh. When you make videos like that, you shouldn't get angry. You should be like, yeah, well, what else is new? But hit dogs holler. And you feel guilty. Look, at the end of the day, just be happy, man, okay? That's all. Don't make a big deal out of that stuff. This is just YouTube. It's no different than Facebook. Okay, don't lose any sleep at night. But you coming over here to, like I said, to blow our back out. You're going to do that. But another thing that, one of the two biggest things is that, and the other thing is we're in denial about, why women over here are interested in us. Y'all know I say initially it's finances, the opportunity for a new life and everything that comes with that. And you're going to get pushback on that. If that's the case for 1 million couples and you got 10 couples where it's not the case, wouldn't that be the exception, not the rule? But we're in such denial. Men are so embarrassed. I mean, it's obvious, guys. That's why they want you initially. I met a couple in Seymour yesterday. The guy had to have been close to 70. Looked like the woman was maybe in her either late 20s or early 30s, but they had been together for a long time. They lived in Thailand. They live here now. They lived in Thailand 5 years. They live here 6 months now and live in America for 6 months. And it's obvious why this young woman, she's attractive, is with this guy. But if you say that out of your mouth, if you say the obvious, people get angry. No, my woman's different. Or my situation is different. Look, if you met the woman on the dating site and you came here to meet her and you got into a relationship, you're in the 8,000 mile club, guys. There's no exceptions to that. Whether you want to remain in denial or not. Women here they're lacking a lot of things, but it's not a man. This is what you don't understand. Okay, so you can say, oh, no, my woman, she wanted me for me. If you wouldn't have paid all that money and spent all that time on that plane and flew all those miles and everything, used up all your vacation or whatever it is, or even some of your retirement to come over here, there would be no relationship. But the point is, guys, let's give people their perspective. Do we have to argue and fight about somebody's perspective? Everybody has a perspective. Everybody has an opinion. It doesn't mean it's the Bible, but you guys are arguing about obvious stuff. What in the world would a woman 30 years old want to do with a man 70 years old if it wasn't finance? And who cares? If you're happy, why do you care? It's because you're in denial. It's because you're embarrassed. It's because that's what everybody over there is telling you. Well, at some point in your life, you got to get to the point where you don't give a damn. Like, we're at an age now where you shouldn't even care what people are going to say about you now or what they think about you. But what is the age that you reach? Hey, I'm 62. I'm already there. I've been there. Okay, I got receipts to show you I don't care. Because if I did, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be in jail if I cared what people said about me and what people think about me. But it's time that we put that stuff to rest, man. It's childish. Dude, it's childish. We're being lured over here, basically, okay, for money. Because they got a whole lot of things, but they don't have money. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not just in the Philippines. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of dating broke women. Because this talk is going to resonate not just in the Philippines. And broke just simply meaning with limited savings or no savings at all. Not enough money to cover your daily needs. Okay, that's why she's with your sorry ass. Okay, y'all just don't want to hear it from me, but I'm going to tell you. I don't care what you think. Okay, that's the bottom line. But who cares? So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, thank y'all so much for stopping by today. Got some good news, man. You know, the DNA kits, they're going to take the swab, they take the cheek swab, and then, it takes 6 to 8 weeks for the results, but who cares? Once I take that cheek swab, I know it's over. And they gave me 90 days to do it. So we're well within the 90 days. So I didn't have to start the process over and pay the $200 and something again for the CRBA and the passport. That's actually great news, guys. If you got a child over here, man, shout out to my buddy Franz. He lives in Africa. He came all the way over here to do that process for his daughter. Once he found out, that was really his daughter, You just have to do that. There's no excuse not to do it. I have no respect for men who don't do that simple little thing. It's not even 200 now with the dollar being as strong as it is now. It's not even $200 to give your child just a whole other option, a whole other opportunity at a new life. The same opportunity that you give the young women over here for much more. Okay, finding in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by, I don't help somebody. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. At some point, at some point, we have to get to not caring about what people say about us and what people think about us. Okay? But it's obvious that men are getting on those planes coming over here for the easy sex. Sex that we think is easy. It's really not easy, guys. You don't see what's behind that pretty face. Okay, and if you think these women really want you, other than the finances and the opportunity for a new life, and even if she does have a good job over here, her life's gonna be even better with you a part of it, then there's no help for you. You're in denial. You might as well go ahead and buy one of the 8,000 mile patches that I have in there. You're a part of the 8,000 mile club. There's not many Filipinos, probably zero, who are going through that visa process solely to meet American men or British men. Okay, it's just not the case, guys. They're not doing it because they're broke. That means they have very little money. They got everything else, but they don't have any money. So if y'all want to continue to argue and fight and be immature about subjects like that, go ahead. But the bottom line is, you're in denial.
Boots on the ground, don't do nothing stupid. Give that man his flowers, a tribute through music. If I don't know nothing, I know one thing. When we help others,